All right, this is one of the parent functions, and even had you finished Algebra 2, you wouldn't have talked about it because we don't do it in Algebra 2 here, but it's called the greatest integer function. And it's represented, it's kind of hard to tell on here, but it's really like a double bracket like this. It's kind of like an open bracket thingy. They kind of have like a space in them. It's hard to tell on that little one, but the greatest integer function f of x equals x in the brackets pairs every real number x with the greatest integer less than or equal to x. Basically, you always round to the greatest integer. So if you'll look at the example over here, -2 rounds to -2, -1.5 rounds to -2, -0.99 rounds to -1. It always rounds up to the greatest integer, well, absolute value of the greatest integer. So you can see this. It is also called a step function. These are really used a lot of times for in word problems. And I actually think, there's a male term on here. That's usually when we use them. So if we were going to graph, this is the parent function. Here's what you need to remember about the greatest integer step parent function. It has a solid dot at 0, 0, and an open dot at 0, 1. And then it steps up. So see, right here, it has a solid dot, it's a straight line and an open dot, and then it jumps up from there. Solid dot at 1, and because there's another function that's kind of like it, but it doesn't have a solid dot at 0, 0. So if you can remember that about the greatest integer function, then you'll be fine, because it's pretty easy to remember, to know what else is happening. All right, so in this case, if they want us to graph this, and really this probably should have gone in the next little part, but if this is our greatest integer function, what does this +1 grouped inside with x, what does that do to your step function? It does what? It sort of. Yes. It shifts it, but which way does it shift it?
Down to the right. To the left?
To the left. Remember, x is a liar.
Right.
Anytime something is grouped with x, x is a terrible liar. Anything that you see grouped inside with x, it is going to do exactly backwards of what it looks like it's supposed to do. So this right here, +1, normally we would go, oh yeah, +1, that's to the right. But not with x. Anything with x does backwards of what you think. So this +1 right here shifts the entire step function left. What would a half do if it was in front of x? Like not inside with x, but if I had a function that looked like this, let's see. All right, let's do a parabola because that's the easy one. All right, so there's my parent function, right? If I do this, what happens to your parabola?
The values go down.
But what is the shape? What happens to the shape of it? It gets fatter, right?
Yeah.
And basically what's happening is it's getting squashed.
Yeah.
So it gets fat. That is a vertical compression. It's gotten pushed down, right? It is half as tall as it used to be. But if I were to switch this and put that inside with x, like that, it's no longer a vertical issue. It's now a horizontal issue. But x is a liar. So it isn't a horizontal compression. It's a horizontal stretch. So instead of being half, it is now twice as long as it should be.
It looks the same, doesn't it?
No.
Oh,
So a parabola, well, this does, yes.
The one on the parabola does.
A parabola, it would look the same. It would look the same as a vertical stretch.
I remember
but
last
it's a
year
horizontal
I used to get
compression.
those confused so much last year.
Okay, except for it. One of the reasons that it's really, really hard in Algebra 2 is because every function that you deal with in Algebra 2 has arrowheads on the end. So it's hard to tell, are you stretching my arms this way or are you pushing them down? It looks the same, right? But that is not true of a step function. I have two dots. it is very easy to tell the difference between a horizontal stretch or compression and a vertical. What would a vertical stretch or compression do to these two dots?
Would it like turn them?
It wouldn't do anything to them.
Because they're just so.
But if this is the end point of one and this is the end point of another, what does a horizontal stretch do to them? Stretches them further apart. But it doesn't change the way they look like this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not connected. So I promise you it's easier than it seems. But in this case, this is a horizontal stretch and it's shifted to the left one. So this graph, normally, the normal graph looks like this, right? It has a solid dot and an open dot. And it's one space wide. But if I've done this to it, I've shifted it over. So it's now open here and closed, but instead of being at -1, it would be all the way at -2. It's going to be stretched and shifted. So we'll do more of that. I don't know exactly why that's in this because that's what we're doing next lesson too. But let's look at the example, the word problem, because I think this word problem more than anything helps you understand the point of a greatest integer function or step function. So an express mail company charges $25 for a package weighing up to 2 pounds. For each additional pound or fraction of a pound, there's an additional charge of $3. Let y equals d of x represent the cost to send a package weighing x pounds. Graph y equals d of x for x in the interval of 0 to 6. So, let's see.
That totally makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense. I will explain it in another way. All right. I go to the post office. And I have a package. No matter what, anything weighing up to 2 pounds. It could weigh 1 pound. It could weigh 1.2 pounds. It could weigh a half a pound. It doesn't matter. If it is up to 2 pounds, it is going to cost me $25, no matter what. But for each additional fraction of a pound, they're charging me $3 extra. So if I go and my package weighs 2.1 pounds, how much are they going to charge me? $28. What if it weighs 2.4 pounds? It's still $28 because for every fraction of a pound, there's an additional $3. What if it weighs 3 pounds?
28.
28. Wait.
This is for each additional pound. There's an additional.
Additional pound.
That's
So
just
if I go-
one additional pound.
That's 1 additional pound.
This is $3.
Okay.
It's $28.
What if it's 3.1 pounds?
And
Then
it would be
it's
$31.
Then it's $31 because we jump up.
Oh.
Makes
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so it's $25 for 0 to 2 pounds. So, well, you can't have a package that weighs 0 pounds. Let's say 1, 2, 4, really 6. These are my pounds. I'm going to put a little break here, pretend that I've counted right. All right, so if my package is anywhere from 0 to 2 pounds, it's $25. But as soon as it goes over 2 pounds, it jumps up to $28. So 28. But
the
at-
right side has an open circle, right?
But as soon as it gets to 3.1, it bumps up to 31.
Oh, I get it.
As soon as it gets to 4.1, it bumps up to 34. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's always a closed end on one end and an open end on the other.
Does it matter which one is which?
Yes.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
It's like on this one,
Yeah.
because it's after.
Because it's after. Because up until that point, that's the cost. But then as soon as it goes over that is when it jumps up.
And which, like, do you give an example when it wouldn't be like this?
Well, if they said, well, if they said it in reverse, like if they said, I'm trying to say, how would you say it? You're charging. Like if you said anything under whatever, no, because that would still be drawn like this.
Well,
That
like
would be
anything under 3 point, or anything under a fraction of a pound of the next pound.
They wouldn't word it like that though. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, Clark.
I don't think it.
Getting to
Well, I'm just wondering
No,
what
but
it would look like.
they're out there, and we'll have some somewhere. I just right now can't think of. Let's see if I have one somewhere. Can't think of one right off the top of my head. Hold on.
She never talked to me.
Was that it for the minutes?
Yeah, that's it.
She sounds so sad. She
Oh man.
I was gonna try to find a word problem that would be the other way.
Well, I was just
I
interested.
promise her
Okay.
I have quiz today that I'm gonna fail. Yep. It's just the original one? Yep.
I'm
Have
curious.
you looked at any of the want to hear my story?
Yeah. Your story.
So last night, Brooklyn was over, right? With my sister.
Uh-huh.
And she goes to get the dog. Well, you know, Sam, he's got to get his dog food. He's a cat.
Yeah, I know.
He loves dog food.
Sam's awesome. I love Sam.
He's mean as crap. So he wants his, let me finish my story. He has to get his dog food or he'll throw a fit and he'll like be all on him, like
Yeah.
scratch you. You don't give him his dog food. So Brooklyn gives him like half a scoop. I was like, you can only have like 5 pieces. You can't give him that much. So she goes to take some stuff and he's like, like calls at her. She's like, ah. She's like, okay, you can do it. I'll just move him. I was like, no, you cannot have that. So I start pulling it away from him. And he just leaves me alone. I guess I got too close. And he like attacked me. Right there, my phone. That was like hurts.
Atticus is like
Cat scratch fever.
Atticus is really mean.
He's so mean. And
Like, you
then
mess with him and he won't do it.
I'll be muzzling at night. I'll like be bent over, like, you know, putting the muzzle on my teeth. And he'll be standing on the gate and he'll go. And he pulls the hair right here out of my ponytail. He's so mean.
That's awesome.
One time I thought he punctured my head because he like dug his nail into it. He's so mean.
I always wear a jacket because Atticus is so good.
What is it?
And then last night I was going
It's
up
the
to the house
2.3 thing from last week, but it's
and I was minding all this
so
things, walking my
it's got the
dog,
glass
walking
window
outside,
once,
and you hear like
these two
rustling in the
find
grass, and I'll
function
turn around.
increasing
Because if
over
you don't pay
the open
attention, he'll
interval.
jump on your leg and
So
scratch
just
you,
look for
because
where
he's
it's
trying to
increasing.
hold on, trying to play.
You look,
And
read
then
from
he
left to
was
right. Where is it
scratching
rising
me
from left to
clear
right?
out. It hurts so bad. Clipping
Well, it's rising from -4, -3 to
I call him
4
a dog.
to
You're looking for the x values of where it's rising.
so -4, 4.
He's cute. He got a new sheet glasses.
Yeah.
His face is so sick.
Don't do anything after trip yesterday?
Okay, so you're looking for the X
We met in
value
one
is
of my
negative
chicks
4.
there.
Yeah.
And I went to yoga story. And then I went to my gym for my mom.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you have to see what the kids are doing.
They didn't really go grab lunch, but I had to go. Of course they do that.
So it's got an arrow going that way, but it's going like down.
So it's-
So it's -4, so would it be?
So it's falling.
Negative and spinach, -4?
Mhm.
So she didn't even come to the front, she went straight to the back, so it was kind of lame.
Your dad's getting my sister's lane, but they're for Parker County.
He was telling me like that.
I think on the way to her class.
So you're gonna let her get one?
I'm just roll.
Run. Well, there's not